Hey YouTube, thanks for checking out RV Daydream. We're sitting on the porch and Heidi is barely alive.
I feel like death.
What have you been up to?
I've been riding on a daydream. So why is Heidi barely alive? Heidi woke up yesterday and she had a little bit of a stomach pain. If you guys have seen already on Facebook, we've already kind of posted information on this. But she woke up yesterday and she didn't feel real well. She had a stomach ache, and then she went to work and worked, all day basically. Came home and still didn't feel well and went to bed really early. And I told her, I said, well, by the time you wake up, maybe you'll feel better. And she didn't. And not only that, but for the first time in 20 whatever years that she's been working, I actually called her off. I've never had to do that before. She hardly calls off. How many times have you called off in general?
Maybe 5 times.
Yeah, about 5 times. That's about right, 5 times. In 20 years, she's called off. And this is the first time that I've ever called her off. So I told her, I said, you're going to the emergency room. She goes, no, I think I just need to rest. And I said, no, it's been 24 hours of this. You need to go to the emergency room. So she went to the emergency room. The on-call doctor that was there stepped in and said, hey, I only got about 5 minutes left on my shift, but I want to take a look at you real quick. And I think he already knew. It must be more common than what I thought. And he got details from her, and he says, listen, we're going to do a CAT scan. We're going to do some blood work. We're going to take a urine sample. And he asked, history of different diseases in the family. And within, I don't know, probably 20 minutes of all that stuff happening, all the tests and the scans and all that stuff, they were giving her liquids, IV, through IV, because she was dehydrated. She had a low-grade fever, and the doctor came in that replaced the original one, and immediately he says, listen, you got diverticulitis. He said it's not, severe to the point where you're losing bile into the body. He says, but you are infected. Your white blood cell count is up. So anyways, they wanted to keep her in the hospital for the rest of the day into tomorrow. However, he did give her the choice and said, you can go home. You can go home if you want to and just relax, take it easy, and load her up with all kinds of antibiotics and medications. So that's what you're seeing here. She's on a bunch of medications, and I had to go pick her up a bunch of real easy foods to eat. So we're going to leave her alone because she don't want to be disturbed. She's probably getting ready to go back in the house. And all this is happening before our trip, which kind of sucks. So everybody say goodnight, Heidi. Okay, guys, so it's the day before the big trip. And since Heidi's sick, what does she say?
I hope I feel better tomorrow.
Yeah, I gave her the option. I said, if you don't want to go, we don't have to go. I mean, I just have to cancel, the reservation, which I think is like $100 cancellation. But, I mean, we'd still be saving money. And, most importantly, she'd be feeling better. So, we'll see how that goes.
One thing that's good is we have a nice comfy place that if I couldn't do it, and you could go.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
If I need to go rest or something.
Right.
Just hop on the...
Just to let you know, by the way, Heidi's high on medication right now. And she's like zoned out. So I'll leave her.
Cutting back on that one.
I'll leave her alone. So what are we going to do today? Change the oil in the truck. It's time. I've never changed the oil in the truck. We had somebody do it. I did take the truck and get it clean, though. Let's go take a look at that. What do you think? They did a pretty good job. They weren't that buffing type, I just wanted a wax job. I wanted the truck cleaned and waxed, and they did a really good job. Look at how they cleaned and detailed all this, all the frame on the truck, of course the running boards, the frame underneath. They did all that, all the frame, all the way back. The leaf springs, they're all detailed out. I mean, it's nice and clean. This is the cleanest the truck's ever been. When we picked it up at the dealer was having nothing to do with detailing or cleaning or none of that crap. And they've done a good job. I'm impressed. It was filthy. There were so many bugs on the mirrors and that from that trip. I mean, we just drove, you know, whatever that was, 1,400 miles, something like that, a little bit more than that. So I got to change the oil in this. The last time I bought the oil for the oil change, and then we dropped it off at a place that Heidi knows, and they did the oil change, really inexpensive. So what do I have to do? Oh, there's the mail out there. What do I need to do? I need to take and move my son's van out of the way so I can pull the truck down there. You know what? Maybe I could just do it here. You know, it's nice and level. The truck sits up so high. I mean, usually the reason I pull it down there in case I have to put it up on ramps or something, but yeah, I might be able to do it right here. All right, let me take a look. I don't even know where the oil filter is or anything, but I do. Oh, I will tell you about this though. I don't have any links for this stuff, so you have to look this up on your own. I watched a bunch of YouTube videos of people tearing apart filters, and I usually run a K&N filter, or I used to run the Motorcraft filters for years. But this Purelator Boss filter, it's more expensive. It is so much heavier. It has got so many pleats in it. It is constructed really well, and I've seen teardowns of these filters, and I've tore apart some of my old filters, and this is well worth the money. This is a very, very good filter. So if you guys are looking at changing your oil yourself and you don't know what filter to buy, you don't want to go one way or the other, this is a good direction. And as far as the oil, Heidi's been selling, boing, drop that, now it's damaged. No, I'm kidding. Heidi's been selling oil at her work for quite some time, and for all the diesel guys, they always got Rotella. Well, not that long ago, Rotella started making gas truck engine. This is coming from a company that has been making diesel oil for a long time, and they're well known for how well their stuff performs. And whenever they came out with this, it immediately got the approval for use in Ford, GM, Ram, and Toyota gas-powered trucks and SUVs. This is a truck formulated engine oil for gas engines, and it's not crazy expensive. I think that 5 quarts was about $38, and this truck takes 7 quarts, so I've got a couple extra quarts that are tucked away. But this is really, really good stuff as far as the rating on it. And Rotella, I mean, you guys who have diesel trucks know Rotella, and I'm very, very happy that they came out. As soon as I heard they coming out with a gas truck oil, that was it. So other than what came in this from Ford from day one, this is all that we've run in it. And of course, this is only the second oil change. We don't even have 9,000 miles on the truck. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and throw this in there, and I don't even know what's involved. So after I'm done changing the oil, the next thing I got to do is drive over to the gas station. I need to fill the gas tank of the truck. I'm going to back the truck up. I'm going to load it with all the crap that we normally take with us on this trip, you know, on trips in general, to get a good idea of weight. You know, obviously when we're full timing, there's going to be a lot of stuff back there, you know, tools in general, mainly tools. But this will give me a good idea as far as traveling weight, what I'm getting close to. I'll take the truck then up to the scales up the street. I'm going to have him weigh the truck, and then I'm going to come back and hook up the RV. And then at that point, I will take the truck and the trailer up to the feed store and get them both weighed, so I can get an idea of what the tongue weight is like, and how it compares as far as percentage wise to what, you know, the trailer weighs. Because if I have a truck weight, obviously if I get a truck and trailer weight, I just need to subtract the truck weight, and that'll tell me how much the trailer weighs, and then I can figure out, you know, at 1,050, or yeah, about 1,050 pounds tongue weight, I can figure out what percentage I'm at. But you know, this is going to be a fun trip, as long as Heidi gets better. Hope she gets better. Oh my, this is going to be one of the easiest oil changes I think I've ever done. I can get underneath this mud flap. Now look at that. I know it's going to be kind of hard to see. There we go. See that oil filter's right there. And there's the drain plug right there. All right, you know, right next to it. It's got a white dot in the middle of it. I don't know if you can see it there, but yeah, that's really easy. Yeah, I'm kind of happy about that. This is the first time I've really got underneath this truck. It's kind of uncharacteristic for me, but yeah, I've never really got underneath, looked at the truck, and just checked it out. I'll tell you one thing, I still want to put a bigger tank on this truck. You can see that tank there is 34 gallons, and if I could just put that 48-gallon tank in there, yeah, I think I'm going to go to a wrecking yard and try to find a 48-gallon tank and see what it's going to take to mount it in there, because I think it can be done, son. But yeah, this is going to be a nice easy oil change. Let me go ahead and climb underneath here. From underneath here, oh my God, I'm out of shape. Well, I am in a shape. Again, it's round. But yeah, if I can get the that 48-gallon tank in there, and the filler neck would relatively line up, man, that'd make life a lot more fun. Even though this does better than the old truck as far as gas mileage. The old truck had a crap load of gas. I mean, the old truck, I had 57 gallons of gas on board whenever I filled up both tanks. And yeah, well, anyways, let's go ahead and change this Earl. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and weigh this beast. The truck weighs 7,280 pounds before the hitch and before anything else is added. So we're going to have to see what this beast weighs now that I've got the trailer back there. Alright, let me go see how much this thing weighs now. Now my GCVW on this thing is 19,000 pounds. So the truck weighs 7,280. Combined we're 15,440, and that means the RV currently weighs 8,160 pounds. That's pretty heavy, but that's also considering the hitch and also the contents of the RV, obviously. So yeah, we got a lot going on there, but nothing crazy.
So we're finally on our way to Hershey Park.
Right on US 62.
Well,
Yeah.
somewhere.
Yeah, we don't. Our final destination is Hershey Park, but yeah, we're
Michael did all the work this time.
not really. Heidi still, even though she's sick, moved some stuff into the RV, which was good. So yeah, we're gonna step it up here and get going. Man, it feels different. It definitely feels different with that water that I have in there. We could empty the water and then reweigh it, but we'll just go with this and see what happens.
3/4 of a mile. Turn right on South 12th Street.
Come on out now.
Continue straight for 8 minutes to US 62.
All right, so good, about 122 miles to go, so it says. And I've had the cruise control set the whole time, pretty much on either 63 miles an hour or 57 miles an hour, depends on the construction. Now, because of me resetting this at the house and us going and getting this thing weighed and all that stuff, we started off with a low number, but 8 miles to the gallon, that's about right. Sometimes it looks like that we're closer to 9 miles to the gallon, trying to beat that number that was already stored in there. But yeah, like now I'm going up a hill, you'll see it kicks down. It'll kick down one more time. There we go. Now here's something that's really cool. If you guys don't know this about your Fords, I'm going to try to do this with 2 hands. I'm going to drop it down to the M, and that's manual. And if I put it there, it stays in 4. I just changed it from 3rd to 4th, and it will not downshift. I mean, I don't even know how it could downshift, unless maybe something extreme happened. But I think it's really cool that you can manually control it to where, you guys know that's been towing vehicles for a while. Let me go ahead and take it out of this now. What used to happen in the old truck was you had to find out how far you could go with your pedal without it kicking out of gear or kicking down. And it was always this fine line of going up a hill to the point where you're like, oh, please don't kick down, because it just wasn't an effective gear, or it would just rev the crap out of the engine and then go right back down to the gear that you were in the first place. Where, you know, these newer vehicles, they're finally getting smart and they're saying, hey, you know, even though you have an automatic, we'll manually let you lock it in. We'll manually let you, you know, keep it in that gear that you want it without it kicking down to a certain point, I'm sure. But
must be nice to sit in the goddamn center lane and run as fast as you want to and fuck around with a slow truck.
Oh, these guys. I love the CB. It's been entertaining this trip. But anyways, that's just what I wanted to show you is, first of all, the miles per gallon. And this terrain that we're going through, it's all up and down, up and down. I don't know if you can tell, but this is really probably the flattest piece of road that we've been on, and it's not even that flat. And at least it's straight. Most of that stuff we were going through is pretty curvy, but yeah, this is a pretty decent trip so far. All right, so after we got through the tunnel, you could see how fast the gas mileage started climbing. So I'm thinking that we're probably closer to, seeing this, it makes me think that we're probably closer to 9.5 or 10 miles to the gallon that we would be getting normally, because these hills are real gradual now, even though you can see mountains off in the distance there. Yeah, they're pretty gradual. I mean, sometimes it kicks down to 5 and then it's back up to 6, but we're definitely gaining gas mileage since we got through the tunnel on 76 going east here. So I'm thinking the truck might be doing a little bit better than I initially thought. And again, we were going through such, you know, pretty great hills and curves and everything else there for quite some, and construction to boot. Okay, so here we're sitting at our little lunch break. I forgot to tell you guys that I shortened the stopper that's on the back of the door so that the door opened a little further. It was just the stopper was kind of a standard size and they just threw it on there, and it needed to be shorter so the door could open more so we could get in and out of here a little easier. And even with the slide out, which obviously the slide's in right now, it will open a little further even though we don't really need it to at that point, and it still doesn't hit anything. We're at a truck stop. I have no idea where we're at. Yeah.
No.
All we know is we're in Pennsylvania. I have my phone. Let's see what it says. So we had lunch. Heidi made lunch. She was slick.
First time I eat in 2 days, and probably not the good idea.
Well, she said, hey, if you pull over into the truck parking, I can make you a sandwich. I said, oh, I'm not very hungry. And then she goes, well, I'm starving.
I haven't eaten in 2 days.
All right. So we are North Midway. Actually, we're at South Midway Service Plaza, but I have no idea. In Bedford, PA. Ooh, check that out. Bedford. Could be Bedford, Ohio. So, yeah, we still have a little ways to go. The truck's doing really well, and the gas mileage is definitely increasing. I think it's probably got to be doing 10 miles to the gallon at this point. I mean, for it to have 160 some miles on the odometer at this point, and I'm seeing it increase. For those big, you know, even a tenth of an increase over just, you know, 20 miles, then that means it must be getting a decent amount of gas mileage, you know, to bring that number up. So, happy about it so far. I went ahead and topped it off here. Gas isn't necessarily cheap here, but it's not expensive either. And I got to turn off the water pump. I had to use the bathroom also. So I have to turn off the water pump, and yeah, we'll head out on our way. We're going to not get to the campground now for probably, we're probably going to be an hour after check-in, which check-in was 3, so I'm guessing it's going to be 4 by the time we get there, or maybe even a little later. The thing is we've got tickets to the show tonight. Now, the show goes till 8, but still, It means we got to get there, get set up, get changed, and head out to the show. So we'll see what happens. All right, so traffic in this area is not the greatest. It's a little congested. I mean, it's only 4:20, so it's not rush hour. And
Turn left at the traffic light.
yeah, it's congested. I don't know how else to describe it. So we're going to be turning down here on Sweet Street. And hopefully they got our reservations straightened out. There's a left turn signal and I can't make it. Let's see if I can do it. Ready? Oh, there's a green for everybody, so.
Want to talk about packing them in like sardines? Well, here you go. It's gonna be tight fit. I thought I better not try to move the truck. I don't want to make a scene. Plus, I don't feel that great anyway. Maybe making mistakes.
Alright, so we made it. We're set up. Our site's extremely unlevel.
First time ever.
Yeah, this is the first time. So unlevel that good thing we had the LevelMate Pro, because I would have normally just stacked the wood like I normally do, but the LevelMate Pro says you need 6 inches. And the boards that we had when we stack them only give us 4 inches. So we came up with a couple extra boards. We always have extra boards just for that reason. But once we got it level, it was on this side here, we found for the first time ever an issue with the steps. We had to put wood underneath the steps because even extended all the way out, they would not touch the ground. The back one here, at this door here, it tried. It was real close. But the front one, forget it. But we are level within 1/4 of an inch. And the only reason is because I didn't have like incremental boards to where I could leave that 1/4 inch and then put the slide out and get rid of it. So we're 1/4 inch off because the slide went out and it raised that side just about 1/4 of an inch. But it's very, very level in here and very stable. It's very sturdy in here. I don't know why that is. Probably because we're on gravel. It's a lot of gravel. The park is pretty nice, actually. I'll tell you, what I seen online and what we saw as far as satellite views and stuff, I didn't know what we were getting into, but it looks nice. It's rustic, but it's organized. All except one thing that Heidi was really concerned with, and that was when we turned on the 50 amp, when the plug went in, and I flipped the switch, it sizzled.
Like a cartoon.
And I went ahead and I turned it off. I pulled the 50 amp back out again. I looked at everything. I smelled the cord. I smelled inside the box, and I seen there was a mud dauber's nest sitting there. I don't know if that's what it was or not, but anyways, I put the 50 amp back in again and turned it on, and it sizzled again. It just went zzz, like it was making a connection. But it was after the connection had been made. It was kind of like a late thing. So immediately we put it to the test. We came in, we turned on both air conditioners on high. We turned the refrigerator on electricity. Then we turned the hot water tank element on. And you can see here, it's got the correct polarity and it's 114 volts. We're good. So here's the deal. Right now it is 6 o'clock. The RV show goes until 8 o'clock tonight. By the time we take our showers and everything, even though I've already pre-bought tickets for the show, I don't think we're going tonight. We can't. It just wouldn't make any sense.
Too much rush.
Yeah, we would have to rush. We'd have to hurry up and take our showers. Oh, there's something too. So even with the 15 gallons of fresh water that I have in the RV, we also have about 15 gallons, about 15 gallons of gray water that was unaccounted for. I didn't know I had anything in the gray tank, and I guess I should have thought about it, and I didn't. So basically we were hauling 30 gallons of water, extra water, but the truck did real well. Everything felt good. Anyways, that's what we're doing. Pretty decent internet here. I still went ahead and put the antenna out, and of course we'll show you the park and stuff as we get along here. But basically Heidi's whipped. She don't feel very well. It was a long trip and we had to make a couple emergency bathroom stops, and in the meantime I just want to take a shower and just relax, because as you can see I'm sweating here. It's a little bit hot and I'm hungry. I'm really hungry, but this place looks pretty nice. Heidi didn't get to see the store that's there. The store looks pretty decent. The laundry room, everything looks nice so far. So we could, if we wanted to, take showers. It's not that far. We're real close here. Well, let me show you. Here's our site here, and this drawing, it looks funny because this is the main drag that you come in on. This is the shuttle where they pick you up to take you to the show. You know, either Hershey Park or in this case the RV show. This is the office in which you check in. I'll have to say that the check-in parking is pretty limited because we were kind of on the road and there was only 4 people that were checking in, so you got to be careful there. Anyways, You can see here, this turns into a one-way, so you have to go around here, all the way around, down here, and then back, and then up, and this is our spot. And it was tight. I mean, you could see on the camera, you know, even though I sped it up, I had to make a couple of adjustments to get in here. And I didn't know exactly where I wanted to be, but we pretty much got it. So, now that we're at this site right here, you can see there's the shower house. And you can actually see it out our window. It's not far at all. It's, matter of fact, let me see if we can show you. Let me see if I can show you out the window here. Maybe, maybe not. There it is, right there. Isn't that cool? It's not far at all. We just have to go up these steps right here, and that's the shower house. Hell, I don't even know if I'd have to put shoes on if I walk through the grass. There's nobody next to us right now, but I'm sure that's going to change because, you know, it's Hershey. All right, let us get cleaned up. What do you think about the park so far?
It's real nice. Right when you pull in, it's...
Oh, yeah, there's a lot side by side.
I mean, these are a little more spacious than...
Well, there's just water here and electric. There's not, of course, sewer. But we did get, you know, a site that isn't so bad. Yeah, well, if you had kids. But yeah, look at this. We got all this back here. It's all opened up. So, a little bit of breathing room. Maybe later I'll put Heidi in that little swing seat and see if I can get her to go all the way around.
Articulatus right out of me.
And there's something going on, and I don't know what, but there's a guy that has a diesel bus that's like this one with that motorcycle on it. It's similar to that, but it's over in this area over here. I don't know what the deal is. The guy's running it. It's just idling. I don't know why, unless they don't have electric over there or something. I don't know what the deal is, to tell you the truth, but even with that, I think the generator would run, not the truck, unless they have rules on generators. And he's like, screw that, I'll just run my whole unit then. Anyways, I'm glad we're not over there. And the train's already passed, and it's not horrible. There's a train that's runs by, and we won't hear it. We'll sleep just fine. All right, again, we're out of here. This is the first day. I think I'm going to end it. And be done with this, and we'll pick this up, you know, on day 2, which is going to be the RV show for sure. But I'm hungry. You hungry?
No.
Nope. She can't be. All right, I'm out of here. Say bye, Heidi.
Bye.